right, from the ashes of the Mars Volta comes the Mars Volta. Their first new music, first tour in about a decade, is going to bring them through Cleveland. The Mars Volta with special guest Terry Genderbender. If you know the La Butcherettes, that's Terry Genderbender. She's opening the gig Saturday, September 16th at the world-famous Agora Theater, AXS.com. For the details, tickets, all that. Want to get reacquainted with the Mars Volta? Here's your chance. Caller 10, these are yours. Good luck. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
I met Alan.
Did you?
I gave him marijuana.
Oh, great.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7.
Me and Bill.
I know, right?
I don't feel like anything. How do you like them apples?
Well, we had such a long weekend. We were going to go see that new Evil Dead last night.
I watched it. I was disappointed.
Really?
Yes.
That means we'll probably like it, though.
I love those movies. I thought the reboot 10 years ago was awesome. And
Brian?
This one feels very much by the numbers. I was underwhelmed. I don't know.
Well,
It wasn't bad, but I was like, okay.
we were out at the At Home in Elyria, and there's the Cobblestone Regal Cinema, I think, right there. I don't know if it's any good or not. I've never been to that movie theater, but we were literally across the parking lot. And
That's Sheffield Village? Is that where that is?
Yeah. And there was a showtime in like 20 minutes. And I was like, hey, do you just want to go see that movie? And he was on the fence about it. He was like, I really do want to see it, but it's a very particular movie for fans of Evil Dead. Like, he was saying that it's almost like a cult classic type movie.
Well, the first couple were, but then it blew up and the budgets got bigger. And, we had Bruce Campbell on a couple of weeks ago, and he has a little bit of an audio Easter egg in this movie. But, I mean, listen, they're never too long. Clocks in like an hour 40. It's got an interesting bookend to it. If you know the Evil Dead lore, you seen those movies or no?
No, that's what I was going to ask.
So this would be the first one you'd ever seen?
Yes. And
you might like it. I mean, it's super bloody. I mean, if you're into that.
He knew that too. He's like, you've never seen any of the other ones. I don't know how much you're going to like. This isn't for you. He's like, we would be doing this just for me. I'm like, yeah, I can go see one of your movies, But I don't know. Anytime you recommend a movie, I almost always hate it. So now.
I feel like that's anything any of us recommend.
No, just when Alan recommends horror movies. What else have you except that dumb magician thing?
I did recommend that.
And
that
Uncut
dumb
Gems.
No, I told you about a horror movie that was admittedly really stupid because
really
I wanted
bad.
you to watch it.
The one where the devil.
Solomon. Song of Solomon.
What is he? A possessed priest has sex with the devil for 4 minutes. It's like the longest sex scene in all of cinematic history.
You can't rush sex with the devil.
I was like, I heard it from the back room and I came out and Brian was losing his mind. He was laughing so hard.
Yeah.
And I was like staring at the screen and I'm like, what are you watching? And Brian's like literally can barely breathe. He's laughing so hard. He's like, I think that guy's having sex with the devil. He's going on and I was like, what is this?
Hey, Mary.
Devil.
What's your problem, man?
All I'm saying is, do you need a 4-minute sex scene?
I need a 14-minute sex scene, man. What, you think I'm just gonna pop off right away when I'm having sex with a priest?
No.
Come on, man.
Listen, I'm not saying anything to your stamina. I'm saying that that's a very long and uncomfortable scene for a viewer.
Well, I like it long and uncomfortable. I'm out here having sex, man.
And I'm
if somebody's
happy
gonna
for you.
film it, that's on them, not on me. That was a documentary, by the way.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
You enticed that man in with what you called your flower.
You know how I like to entice people with my flower. My devil flower.
Your
That's
demon
right.
petals.
That's right. So get up all in this. Yeah.
Well,
So get off my back, man.
Listen, man, I just thought it was a little excessive.
Well, that's my thing. Excess. Nothing exceeds like excess.
Okay.
Right? Debauchery. Excess. Apparently a 4-minute sex scene is too much for you. What's your boyfriend's name?
Brian.
Poor Brian. Oh my God, 4 minutes is too long for this chick. Bill, is it?
Yo.
Bill, you hear what's going on over here?
Yeah, it's 4 minutes is a
too
long
long.
time.
Oh,
I think
God.
it's a long time.
See, Bill agrees. 4 minutes is too long to watch a priest, I think.
Wait till you guys get down here, because 4 minutes is just the preamble.
Oh, no.
And time has no meaning down here, so you won't know how
Well, then
long
I don't
it lasts.
care.
Right. Okay, I gotta go bang a nun for 5.5 minutes. Oh, sorry, too long. All right,
Or 5.5 eternities.
All right, who knows?
Well, it's something. All right, listen. All right, well, then don't take my recommendation on... I haven't seen Hellhole. I'm saying I can't wait to see Hellhole. I have seen Evil Dead Rise. I watched it on Goku. And it was okay. I think that I thought that it was going to be... Because that reboot, when they, and that was the first one in a long, long time when they rebooted it. So it was... And they were rebooting the original story, and the cast was good, and it was super, super bloody.
Where'd you watch or is it on Shudder?
Hellhole is on Netflix. I haven't seen it yet, though. It's Polish, subtitled. It's freaking people out. Now, I did watch, I am watching. I haven't finished it yet, so I might end up sucking on Shudder called From Black.
He just was about to start that last night. That's about the mom who goes crazy after her son gets killed or something like that, or her son gets...
her son is abducted.
Kidnapped.
That one's called Friday the 13th.
No.
And a guy comes to her and says, there's a way you can get him back.
Yeah, but it's
And it involves this ritual that he supposedly has done. So far, I dig it. So that's on Shudder.
He was between that and some other movie, and he picked the other one. Slasher. Is that a new one?
That's a series. That's a Shudder series.
That's what he ended up doing, I think, because they were shorter.
It's like third season of Slasher.
Yeah, he watched one of those instead of that From Black movie.
Yeah.
Because he made me watch the trailers for both of them. And that From Black, I was like, this looks like the saddest movie of all time. This poor, deranged mother whose child was stolen just wants to see him again, and the demons can't even let her have that.
Yeah.
Why would anybody want to watch such sad?
It's a treatise on grief, Mary.
It's terrible.
That's fundamental to a good horror movie. Grief. Sadness.
This is why I don't like horror movies.
You watch a happy horror movie?
None of them have happy endings. Not a single one has a good ending. That stupid Smile, I thought had a good ending.
Smile sucked. For as popular as that movie was, Smile sucked.
It was okay. I liked it. See, this is what I'm saying. We're on opposite ends of movie taste, me and you.
That was an amazing premise. Here's the problem, too, is there's a lot of these movies that are fleshed out of short films. They'll take something that's a short film that is awesome in 11 minutes because there ain't that much to do. Right. You can do all 3 acts in 11 minutes, and they go, we should make this into a feature. Throw a bunch of money at it because the premise is great. They go, let's just fill out some stuff in beginning, middle, and end. Smile should have been awesome. And I'm probably in the minority on that because people loved Smile.
I thought it was all right. I mean, again, that's not my type. I'm not a big fan of horror movies, although I've seen 200 of them.
It's also real hard to do a satisfying ending to a horror movie.
That's what Brian said, too.
It's hard to wrap one up where you go,
you're
oh my God.
never going to see an amazing ending on a horror movie.
Well, Blair Witch.
Well, that sucks.
Blair Witch Project is an amazing ending to a horror film. That original Blair Witch.
I've never seen that.
Goonies.
I feel like
an amazing ending to a horror film.
I feel like horror movies and comedies are the ones that are the hardest to have a good ending.
Well,
because with comedies, what usually happens is the first 2 acts are funny, and then the third act is all like resolution and stuff like that. So it's just like becomes something else a lot of times.
Yeah, it's hard to wrap a story up. It's hard to wrap any story up. Because you figure the first part is setting up the premise, and then the middle is carrying it through somewhat to its completion. And in the end, they got to wrap everything up. And you go, that's hard to do. It's not easy. I've got to give you some money here. It's $1,000. It's a chance for you to put a little cash in your pocket, courtesy of the Buzzard Bookie last week to do it. So make sure you're got your ears peeled for all of these this week. Good luck. Oop, hold on.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard Bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Cash. That's cash. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
I'm curious how they arrive at their lists over at Cleveland Scene Magazine, but I always like when they do them. Cleveland Scene dropped a list this morning called Unpopular Cleveland Opinions. I don't know if they crowdsource some of the editors or the writers or whatever they do. It's not like they took some wide-ranging survey and asked people, but some of them are funny to me. MMS gets name dropped in this list. Did you see this list?
Yeah, I saw this.
Right now.
Christmas ale isn't good. In fact, they put this in here twice.
You're
I
wrong.
doubt they meant to do that. But, well, again, a list like this reminds me of what people accuse me of not being a native, where I come in and start pissing on everything everybody loves because, A, I'm just a contrarian, and B, it's not as awesome as everybody thinks it is. A Christmas ale is very, very popular. But this is a list of unpopular Cleveland opinions. Christmas ale isn't good. Pierogies are bland dough pockets.
I think.
I mean,
Listen,
some
they
of them
are, but you got to season them. That's like
the
why
whole-
it's
and,
the
and
whole
they don't
point.
have to be bland dough pockets. If you're putting plain mashed potatoes inside of a noodle, then yeah. But they're like the
There's
pierogi later at the West Side Market.
Right, but
that's
the point.
just
Filling them with all kinds of crap.
But the point is that you have to zhuzh them up so much that at some point they become very little pierogi and more every other thing.
Spaghetti is bland until you put anything on it.
Pizza.
Like,
I'm sorry, Bill. I eat my spaghetti plain and uncooked. Thank you very much.
Crunchy.
pretty bland. Yes.
Traffic at Blossom isn't that bad.
That's
Seen
ridiculous.
I
this?
fundamentally
Yes.
reject that. I don't know who that is.
It depends on who you're seeing. Like, if you go see, like, I when I go see the Cleveland Orchestra, I'm in and out. There's no problem because I'm faster than every old person that's there. But when you go to, when we saw Ozzy, that was insane. When I saw Incubus there, we were there
When you
for,
see any sold out show, every
any-
country show I've been to, it takes 4 hours to get out of there.
Even when I saw Tenacious D, they didn't even do they didn't have the lawn open and it still was a lot of traffic.
Kayaking down the Cuyahoga is not a particularly pretty experience. It's actually an industrial wasteland, is what it says.
Co-sign that one.
Yeah, Bill fell in and his eye stopped working.
Nope.
Mabel's isn't the best barbecue in Cleveland.
No one said it
I was going to
was.
say,
Nobody
I've
has
never
ever
heard
said
one
it
person
was.
say that. MGK is the best
Listen, I
musical
like
act to come
Mabel's.
out of Cleveland.
MGK's really?
This is a list of unpopular Cleveland opinions on Cleveland scene.
Name someone better.
Stadium mustard is overrated. That's 100% true. Where we check in is it says WMMS is just as good now as it was in the 70s and 80s.
That's the unpopular opinion.
It is. Because I was like, you guys better back in, and like, okay, well, I wasn't here then, so I get it. Like,
I agree. It was.
I knew about WMMS before I came here. I mean, it's legendary, and the legend comes from those old timers, who were making things happen back in the 70s and the 80s. But that is an unpopular opinion, yes. But there's some interesting ones on this list. Tito Francona has had a Hall of Fame career, but it's time to move on. I'm not sure how they arrived at that.
I'm not with that one.
Cleveland is not a walkable city. I don't think anybody says
Nobody
that
said
it is.
It is. Yeah.
People are annoying.
Well, these are
And I know that's
unpopular
the point of this entire
opinions.
thing.
I got one.
What?
I don't get why people make fun of Parma. Like, why? Like, I don't.
Because
Like-
it's the 7th largest city in the state.
Like-
No, because trashy people live there.
Trashy people live everywhere.
But in bigger numbers.
I have trashy
But nah.
neighbors, and I'm in Bay Village, for
Yeah.
Christ's sake.
Listen, I'm the first to tell you there's hillbillies everywhere. Okay?
Yeah.
My kind, we spread out
I lived
like
in Parma
flocks.
for a couple years. It was a very regular place to live.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
fine.
it's just, it became a stereotype to make fun of it, and it just stuck, but I don't think it's.
What's
I
my
have no problem with it.
unpopular Cleveland opinion? I don't know.
My girlfriend she thinks the Cleveland signs are stupid.
I don't
I'm
mind 'em.
entirely indifferent
Yeah, I
to
don't
them.
mind 'em.
Like,
She just thinks it's dumb, like, if you're from Cleveland, to take a picture in front of them. She's like, I get it if you're a tourist, but if you're from Cleveland, like, what are you doing?
yeah, but people from Cleveland love stuff about Cleveland. They're
Oh, I know.
mean, the T-shirts and everything.
Because we're insecure.
The Cleveland food pales in comparison to Detroit, Cincinnati,
Oh.
and Pittsburgh is one of the
a
unpopular
butt.
opinion. Eat a butt, says
I had to
Harry
change
Santora.
2 words in that sentence to what I wanted to say.
Ah.
People came all over me.
I got it. Anyway, whoever did that list, thanks for the name drop there.
Here's another unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
Cleveland's sports fans, not the best.
They're terrible people. They're pretty mean people. We're not great.
Well,
We're
one
not
of the,
great sports
one
But
of these,
I'm talking about being like a fan in the stadium. Like, I feel like
You mean an on-site fan?
Yeah.
I mean,
on-site,
I'm
like-
saying the same thing. We're mean.
no,
We're mean to the other teams.
that's a good thing.
No, it isn't. You don't need to be rude to people.
That's
just
every
from their
fan base.
Not always. You don't have to be rude to people.
Go to Philly. Cleveland fans will seem like
Yeah.
it's a utopia.
I'm talking about staying in the game, like,
Oh, they're not invested.
They're
They're
not
too drunk to be invested.
but I think that's the thing is when you know, I feel like I've been at Cavs games with the hardcore fans when they were a bad team that were just as loud, if not louder, than when they were playing the Warriors in the finals.
Here's my unpopular opinion. It's okay to be a fair weather fan.
Well, that's not. Is that a Cleveland thing or is that
Yes.
Are you saying in general?
In that Cleveland is no different than any other city that screams and whines about fair weather fans. It's okay to be a fair weather fan.
I was a fair weather. Well, I wasn't a fair weather fan. I was a bandwagon. Is that the
You're
same
not
thing?
who I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yes.
I gotta take a break here. If you want to send a text 35192, AlanCoxShow.com to watch, and we'll